Hello, Patriots. Patriot 5 here. Just going to send you a weekend video just because I think we're really close, guys. I really do. I don't mean to sound like other truthers. I don't mean to give you hopium. I really believe we're close. And I just wanted to share a little bit of the afternoon with you. There's some things going on I really wanted to share. And if you listen, you can hear the song in the background. I'm using my Alexa. I'm standing in front of it so we can hear the music. But guys, there's so much. And when I say guys, there's so much. I read today from Ulvey. He was in a meeting and things are looking really good. Yes, he's not allowed to tell us what it is because that's the way the game is played. We're just the people putting things out here. But you know, there's so many things I wanted to talk about. One of them, I believe it was Betty. She posted on Facebook today. And on Facebook she posted, I was in Walmart today and I went to the break room. In the break room I was kicked out. And I said, why? And they said, well, because you don't work here. She said, I just used the self-checkout. If I'm doing your job, that means I work here. And I agree with that. You know, and I know this is a joke and it's a joke. But see, now I'm going to tell you something that is true. I was in Walmart today. My grandson, small Hank, had a hot soccer game today. I went to it. Then I had to go get dog and cat food and other things at Walmart. And I don't like to shop at Walmart because I know what they stand for. It's like I will not go to McDonald's because I know what they stand for. And there's going to be so many people when all of this comes out, they're going to say, why didn't you make us listen to you, Patriot 5? Ralph, why didn't you make us listen? Why didn't you and Ron, Patriot 6, make us listen? Because you can't teach stupidity. You can't. So that being said, I was in there. And I had cat food. I had dog food. I found a Roku channel turner for my grandson. He said he needed one for his TV. So I got one for him, little Patriot 7. I got that for him. I bought me a new pair of flips. Got some different things. And I ring everything up and it gives me the price. And I put my debit card in, my bank debit card in. And nothing happens. Nothing happens. And I says, well, what's going on? So I take it out, pressed a couple buttons that he told me to, and I tried again. And nothing happened. So I waved at the girl over there. She comes over and says, what have you done? I said, other than checked myself out, other than trying to pay with my money, so you can get paid because people are buying stuff here, I haven't done nothing wrong. She said, oh, well, this is a cash only. I said, okay. So I was going to reach in my wallet and I was going to take out the cash to pay. And she cancels the order. She said, now I had everything bagged and in the cart. Now I had to walk over to another one. I said, is this credit card, debit card? Yes. I had to take everything out of Saks, completely scan it while she stood there and watched. Okay, I get it done. I get paid. Then they asked me, do you want your receipt texted to you? Do you want it emailed to you? Or do you want a receipt? Well, see, they have their little Walmart police there at the door. And when you go out, if you don't have everything in a sack, which I had dog food, I wasn't going to get that in a sack. So I said, I want a receipt. I got the receipt. I've rung myself up twice. I didn't use the self-checkout once. I did it twice. And I'm walking out, and the little security guy comes in. I tell you, he wasn't no bigger than a peanut that only had one in the shell. He was a little dude. And he walked up to me and he goes, Mister, can I please see your receipt, please? I said, no, thank you. He said, Mister, you can't let me see your receipt, or I can't let you go out the door. And I said, well, you know what? I tell you what I'll do. You walk with me out the door, you push my cart out the door, you put my groceries in my car, and then I'll let you see my receipt. He said, Mister, I'll have to stop you and get the rest of the security guard here. And I said, listen, and as you're getting the rest of the security guard there and you're detaining me, I'm going to be calling my attorney and suing you because you guys are too lazy to work and now you're harassing me on things that I own and you won't let me take. Well, you have a good day, mister. You say something like that. And this is the truth. Guys, this is the honest truth. But it's like, I mean, this kid, I don't know how old he was, but he sounded like he was about the size of the little monkey. But, here's the thing. I've mentioned some of the kids, so I'm going to mention all the kids. Super Jimmy, Patriot 11 with Hunter and Haley, Karate Kid, and Wyatt Earp, Boogs, Boogaloo, and Boogaroo. Boogs, Boogaloo, and Boogaroo. Now, why did I say that twice? Because I made a mistake last night and didn't say it last night. I apologize to John. And John, with all the class he always has, says, don't worry about it, Ralph. They know you love her. Little Leona, our little princess, our queen, Patriot Hunter, our ball player, the 3 kids that are going to college, Missouri girl, Illinois State girl, and, ISU Redbird, the boy. As I said, little Leona. I mentioned Patriot Hank, Patriot 7, Patriot Super Gymnast, Patriot Little Monkey, and Patriot Kira. And, I wasn't going to bring the kids in, but, we have to be there for the kids, guys. It's for the kids. And a big part of why I'm doing this show today is because of the things that are happening. And this is why I think we're close. We have been losing power here. Internet, not power, internet. Nothing but sunshine out. Like the song, I got sunshine on a cloudy day. We're not even having cloudy days. We're just having sunshine. This morning, my sister-in-law posted on Facebook. She's sitting out in her little she shed. Oh, yeah, she's one of these independent women that have to have their own shed. My brother can't have his own thing. She can have her own she shed or whatever. She's sitting out there, sun shining, no clouds in the sky, and a beautiful rainbow. Now, I've seen this several times here recently. So she sees that. But yesterday, at 1:20 Central Standard Time, my son had just went back up the stairs to go to work. He'd come down and have some lunch, taking it back up because he had a meeting. And I yell up to him, I said, Brandon, do you have the internet? He goes, let me check. He said, no, I don't. And then last night on the show, I read, plus a lot of you guys in the chat was talking that at 2:20, there was supposed to be something happening testing the internet and stuff. And it did, guys. I'm telling you, I know for a fact it did. That's why I'm getting excited. I'm also reading today. When God created man and woman, isn't it a lifelong thing that He just created men and women? He didn't create whatever else you want to call them. If a boy likes a boy and a girl likes a girl, that's their prerogative. But He created man to be with woman and woman to be with man. And people say, but wait a minute. Times have changed. You know what? I don't think when God created the way He did, I don't believe that's part He wanted changed. And I'm not going to go into that because, to be honest with you, I don't look into it because I don't care. I'm a man. I like women. I have man friends. That's it. But if a woman wants to be... How many times have I said, I want to do a humanitarian project for the kids? So all kids, forget the fact that, well, we can get you an adoption with a kid, but it's going to cost you $20,000. Why? The kid needs parents. You got 2 people there, a man and a woman. Let the kid have parents. Oh, no, because, see, then we couldn't get no money in our pockets. Them days are going to be gone. Glory, glory, hallelujah. But then another thing happened to me. And this is something that I really have been wondering. I've asked on the show several times and nobody answers. But see, last night, we all know my brother-in-law Ray passed away. We all know about these special beds, these magical beds, these unbelievable beds. We know what they can do. They are saying now maybe you will never leave the earth, because you're living on heaven on earth, which means you can live maybe forever. But isn't there part of you that wants to see your children again? And you know they're in heaven. Or you want to see your mom and your dad or someone that you love. My sister wanting to see her husband. And I go to bed last night and I start dreaming. I want you to listen to this, guys. I start dreaming. And I went over to my sister's house in my dream. I knocked on the door. She yelled, "Come on in." And I walk in and I look to the right. Because right as you walk in the door of her living room, if you look to the right and walk about 3 feet, is her chair that she always sat in. And then if you'd have walked about 8 feet, it was my brother-in-law's raised chair. But sitting there as big as life, smile on his face, and looked at me and says, "How you doing, Ralphie?" And I almost fell to the floor. In my dream, I was flabbergasted. I couldn't believe my brother-in-law was sitting there. I said, "Have I been dreaming?" And my sister said, "Dreaming? What would you say dreaming?" And I said, "Didn't he pass away? Didn't we have his funeral? Didn't we bury him?" "Yeah." "Then how's he sitting here?" He said, "Because Ralphie, we're living in heaven on earth. So we're going to be able to come back at times and visit. Not a lot, maybe once or twice a year for a day or two. And we're going to be able to visit loved ones." Guys, remember, I've asked this question. Did God give me the answer that yes, we are last night? Did he give me that answer? And that's another reason I wanted to have this show today. I wanted to do this show for you guys to hear this. And there's so many things. There's so many things going on. Guys, I want all of you. We used to have a guy, and he does follow us somewhat. John Kennedy, Jon Kennedy. You guys remember him? John Kennedy is a superstar. He's a superstar on Facebook. I follow him. I'm a friend of his. And he posts so much good stuff. I've got an agreement with him that I don't go to Facebook a lot like I used to. I go there. I know my daughter's going to post pictures of my grandkids, or my son's going to post pictures of my grandkids, or there's something I just want to look at. But John told me he'd start sending me the messages that he's posting. But I make it a point now that even though he said that, I go once a day and I read John's messages, because he'll post sometimes 3 and 4 really good things a day. 3 or 4 really good things a day. And it's amazing. It's an amazing thing. And I support him, and I support him, and I support him. And you know what? I think by his post and my comments, we're starting to open some eyes over there. Because I'll tell people, hey, if you want to follow someone and learn something, you need to follow this man. He is really good. Now, he did admit he don't watch us all the time anymore because he's busy. But you know what? That's okay, because he's going out there and he's doing what needs to be done. He really is. And there's so many things that's happening. There's so many things that's happening. Like, last night, Ron was telling me that he stayed up a little late listening to PPN. He said it was really good. He didn't go into a lot of details. But, and some other people, I read yesterday from Mary Ann about the Hawaii thing. And it's a shame, and it's amazing, because I'm on Facebook last night reading something John posted, comment on John, but then I noticed that my sister-in-law had posted pictures of Hawaii. And my sister-in-law is not even getting into this about what's going on. All she's saying is such a beautiful place to be wrecked like that. She has no clue why it's being wrecked. She has no clue what's going on. And I said, I'm going to tell you something. For all these comments, oh, it's terrible. Oh, I'm so sorry. Not sorry that at that point, almost 75 people had died. Not sorry because the houses were being burnt, because it was destroying a beautiful place. Wake up, world. Get your heads out of your butts and wake up, please. Now, I told Ronnie my dream about my brother-in-law, and he looked at me and he said, well, we know you're ascending, because, see, that's the 3rd time I've dreamt about my brother-in-law since he's passed away. But last night was just like, woo, woo. It was just one of those dreams, guys. And Ron told me, he says, I've dreamt about him 2 or 3 times too. See, my brother-in-law believed in what we were doing. He really believed we were going to save him. And then I look at Facebook a couple of days ago, and a lady by the name of Jackie Robinson. Now, if you're a sports fan and you say Jackie Robinson, you think you're talking about the Dodgers second baseman who was the first true black player to ever play in the American League or the National League. Larry Doby was the first black player to ever play in the American League. But you have a Jackie Robinson day in baseball. But the thing of it is, this Jackie Robinson was a beautiful, beautiful soul, a beautiful woman. I knew her whole family. I worked with most of her family, including her nephew, her husband, her brother-in-laws. Our families and their family worked together at G&B because they matched my family of having three brothers. Me, my brother Russ, and my brother Ron all worked at G&B. There was Jerry, her husband, Larry, and there was one other one. I'm sorry. And then they even had their nephew, which at one time I had my nephew working there too. This was the most family-oriented place to work in the world. But this lady, her mom and dad took over a family-style restaurant called Carlos's. And you guys have heard me talk about this. Carlos is the place that used to have curb service when I was in high school. A girl that I always wanted to date worked there, so when I knew she was working, I'd drive my car in there, sit and drink a pop all the while she worked. I'd even take her home some nights, but I never had the guts to ask her out. 30 years later, we got talking at a reunion, and I said, I always wanted to date you. She said, I always wanted you to date me, but you never asked, and I never asked. Today, she says, in today's world, I would have asked you out. I wasn't bashful, but girls didn't ask out back then. But we're still friends to this day. And we did kind of get our date at the next reunion. I was divorced by then. She came to the reunion, and we kind of met there together and spent the night together. Not after we left. We didn't sleep together or that. That's the way it sounded. No, we was just together there. I won a lot of money that night on her because when she first got there in high school, she was the most beautiful little blonde you ever wanted to see. Long hair. She had cut it just a little bit down to where it was on her shoulders by now, and it was as dark as black as you ever wanted to see. But see, I fell in love with her because of her legs, because I made her sit on one side of me in class and her best friend on the other, and that was back when miniskirts was in. And they wanted to sit next to each other, and I said, I will pass every note you want passed, but I need to sit in the middle so I have a little... Guys are envy of me because I'm sitting next to the two hottest freshmen in the class. And they agreed. I said, oh, I'll give you a bonus. I'll make sure you get an A in math. And I did. Both of them got A's in math. And it was a subject they only had to take for 1 year. And they weren't good in math, but they got A's in math. And now they want them to take this and this and this and this. And they said, nope, we aced it, we're good. But we stayed friends and we should have dated, but we didn't. But how I made the money is when I sat next to her and miniskirts was in. She had the legs that to this day I will never forget what them legs look like. And when she had a little skirt on, and I seen the skirt, these guys are out in the hallway, they're in the bathroom, they're all throwing $20 down. Whoever can figure out who that girl is wins the pot. I said, can I get in on it? Yeah, but you can't cheat, you can't ask. I said, no, just let me in. I handed them my $20. I said, anybody got any ideas? No, do you have any? And I said, watch this. I walked up and I said, hey, Pam. She turned around, she said, Ralph, I was hoping you'd be here tonight. That was our date. I won over $400 that night. I give her half. Hey, I wouldn't have won. And they asked me, they said, that was rigged. No. I said, guys, I sat next to her, not just there, but in a couple of other classes. And that was when miniskirts was in, guys. You never forget people you care for. Mine just happened to be the legs. But, it's all in fun. And that's what I'm trying to get back to, guys. Man, I'm starting to sound like Wolfie. Maybe I need to back off him and that. But I want to go back to the fires. And my sister-in-law posting that. And I posted in there and I said, Do you guys know anything about this? One lady says, no, do you? And I said, yeah. You guys are listening to mainstream media news 2579, which is CBS, ABC, NBC, and WGN, Fox News, CNN. You're listening to all of that, and they're nothing but a bunch of hypocrites, liars, and bullshitters. And that's what I told them. And one lady said, I've heard that. And I said, well, I'm telling you the truth. Somebody else come on, and I'm not going to mention names, comes on and says, oh, he just talks a lot. And I said, no, I talk a lot because I know a lot. And one of these days, people who say, well, he just talks a lot, is going to eat crow. And I'm going to serve it on a platter for him. But anyway, going on in that. I said, I have it from a reliable source whose son had to vacate his home to get out of there, whose teacher, home burnt, and there's still family members of her missing. Now, if you guys have been doing any research, any studying, anything into this, you understand what they was doing. There's, Oprah and the guy that played Forrest Gump, who, that's just total bullcrap because he's not been around for long, but his property is. All of these people, and you know what they was after, don't you? Now, if this was the white hats that did this, and we actually have lost 75 people, shame on us. Shame on us. And the leaders should be punished who give the orders. But I got to believe it was the black hats. One last thing. But why? The black hats wanted to start them because they wanted to keep us away from doing it where it should have been done, and that's underground. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Guys, there's so many things happening out there. There's so many great things happening out there. But, it's always consistent. It's right around the corner. They can't keep saying it's right around the corner. Soon it's going to happen. I will be back. Maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. I will be live if something big hits. But I just want you guys to do one favor for me. Everyone who watches, I want you to do one favor for me. And that is, I want you to relax. And as I talk, right now, 2222. 22 minutes and 22 seconds. I love to look at numbers because it takes my mind off of bad things. Just relax, enjoy, talk to people online, do what you need to do. Go out for a walk, go out for dinner, do whatever you need to do. Because it's changing because they're panicking. Here in Illinois, me and Ron went out to dinner last night, and where we went, gas was $4.99. Oh, but it got worse. We found another gas station around the corner that was $5.20. $5.20 a gallon. But this terrible sleepy guy with his son Dopey says, things are getting better. It's going down. You've got it so high, it can't keep going up higher. But I was wrong because he proved it could. I've also heard there's a peach tree in the future for this sleepy guy. Peach, I'm not going to go into detail because I know you guys know our stuff. But guys, I just want to say I am so happy that you guys are part of my life. I'm so happy we're family. I'm so happy that me and Ron has come in and touched you the way we have, because there's not enough words in our hearts to tell you how much we care for each and every one of you. I said Mary Ann has been special here lately. She can't get into chat, but the things she's sending me, and she's keeping me abreast on this Hawaii thing. Last night when I read what she had sent me, first thing she did when the show was over was thanked me for including her into the show. I can include a lot of people into the show. I love including people in the show. Renee, who's fighting the sickness, who needs these beds really bad. The lady from Carlos's that I was telling you about, she passed away. That's what I was trying to tell you about her grandparents, and then her parents, and then her and her husband took it over. And 4 years ago, they let their kids take it over. And I thought, why? They're not that old. She was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and it finally got so bad. I just talked to her husband today. I run into him in the store, and I said, Jerry, what happened? She was so young, Ralph, so young, but she had Alzheimer's. And he looked at me and he said, Ralph, what I don't understand is I've been doing research, and there's supposed to be beds out there that will fix that. And I said, you're kidding me. And he says, no, do you know anything about it? I say, no, a lot about it. And I started to tell him. And he looked at me with a tear in his eyes and he said, Ralph, if they're there like that, why didn't they save my wife? I said, I don't know. They didn't save my brother-in-law who had cancer. They didn't save a lot of people in our group who's lost loved ones. When is the hat going to say enough is enough? So I'm begging to you, Mr. Hat. I'm begging to you that you're supposed to speak tonight. Don't speak about your ego, about everybody you endorse. Don't speak about you won in what year you know you won, but they took it away from you. Don't speak about anything like that. Tell the people straight out, it's done. We have to put an end. Don't promise us you're sticking up for us as we're watching loved one after loved one after loved one pass away. But do something about it and get us on the right track. Goodbye. Good night. God bless you. I'll talk to you later.